Hey, so first of all, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview what this video is all about. So this is part 3 of our website hacking series. Right now we are in module 1, which is the foundational layer. I have already made two videos. In video 1 we talk about how web pages are made, how websites are made using the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And in video 2 we talk about the difference between the client side and the server side, and we talk about why they are so important from the security perspective. And now in this video we will talk about how the website and the browser talk, like how they communicate and how they share data. And if you have not watched the previous video, I will definitely suggest to watch them out so you get the foundational context. Now let's focus on our main topic, which is how the browser and the web server website communicate, how they transfer data. So let's get started. Okay, so to make this HTTP protocol easier to understand, I want to give you a quick analogy that will help you to understand better and easily. So imagine you are person B and I am person A, and I want you to ask, give me my phone back. So what you're gonna do is your brain will kind of process my request that I said, yep, the person A is asking for his phone. So you will remember, yep, this person A has given me his phone. Now now he wants it back. So what you will do is you will say like, hey person A, here is your phone, take it. So I will just take it. So if we zoom out a little bit and see, the language I use to communicate here is English, so which we both understand, right? Or any native language that we both speak, person A and B, right? So in this case, this HTTP protocol, how the data travel is that, let's say the person A is the browser, okay, I am the browser, and person B is the server where the website is hosted. Right now, what will happen is that as a browser, as a person A, I will ask you as a person B, as a web server, that give me the home page of a specific website. You will see if the web home page exists or no. If it exists, and also if I have the permission to see it. Normally the home pages are allowed for everyone to just kind of see that without any authorization or login. So you will see, yep, this user is allowed, and I can just give him without any error. Just you will what you're gonna do is you will just give me the web home page of that specific website. Now the request I make, now we have request and response. So the request as a client, as a person B, I am making to you is called HTTP request. Similar in the phone case, as a person A, I made a request to give me my phone back. So this is called HTTP request, and HTTP respond is like, when you understood the request, and then you kind of respond back to the person, the client. It's called HTTP respond, right? So I will, as a browser, as a client, ask you to give me the homepage of a specific website, and then you will just do the HTTP respond to me, right? And give me the homepage of that specific website. So that's a broad overview of how the HTTP works basically. Now let's understand this. Yep, the language, like the way we said, we use English to communicate between each other, to so that you can give me my phone. Now the language that the browser and the web server speak and understand is that it is the HTTP language. So it's the language that your computer, that your browser and the web server understand. So they talk in that HTTP language, right? Let's talk about the HTTP request, like what we send as a client, as a browser, what I ask from you. So that will be called HTTP request. When you visit a website, your browser sends an HTTP request, and that HTTP request kind of look like this. Hope you can see that. So we have the get and the slash index dot html and this guy. So this is one line, this is another. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that. Okay, so hope you can see that. And here I have another guide as well. Let me show you how the HTTP request look like. So this is how the HTTP request look like. So this is kind of similar, but yep, both are similar, right? So in the first line, this right here, this guy, you see what this is, the get mean type of request. So it means you are trying to get information. There are multiple methods. One is the get, HTTP methods basically, which we will be discussing. So get is used for to retrieve, to get the information from a website. Then we have the index.html and the page you want. So we want to get the content of this specific index.html page. And then we have the HTML/101, which is the version of the HTTP. There are different version of HTTP. One is the, I guess, 2.0 or 2.3, something like that. But yep, let's see what are the HTTP versions. So let's see what are the version. Like you see, 0.9, 1.0, 101, the 2 and 3. So let's focus on our main topic. I will talk about this later in this video. Now another thing we have is the host. Let's see what the host is. This is where the request is going. This is the website URL you are going to, you are making requests to, right? So this is will be the website, and this is the page you want to access, you want to get the content of. Now you see right here, this is the another guide, but kind of the same HTTP request. We have used the HTTP method. It is a method to retrieve the data, read only, like simply, right? And this is the resource being requested. There are different paths as well, and this one is the protocol version that I have told you right here. And this right here, this host guy, which server to connect to. So this is the website. It must be, you must specify that it must be there in the HTTP request, because if it is not there, it won't know where to connect, right? And then we have the user agent over here. So this guy right here. So you see user agent, this is the Mozilla 5.0, and then the operating system. This is the architecture. Now let's see, talk about this one in detail. User agent. What is user agent? Where is that? Yep. So this tells the server what browser you are using as a client. Website can see you are using either Mac or Windows. Now let's understand from here, browser device, making the browser or the device that is making request to this host device, right? And this can also be modified, like some of the website have blocked. Let's say you do some kind of automation, like kind of getting the information, web scraping or something like that, and you use some kind of bot. But the problem is that some website just already block those user agent. So you can modify that to make it look fake to some very realistic browser, like a real client is a real client, a real browser is making request to their website to get the information. So you can do that. And then we have the, let's see what we have, the accept. Let's see what this is. I'm gonna skip that. Yep, this says I accept these types of file. So it will accept right here in this HTTP request. It will accept the text HTML application, and then we have the accept language, which is the right here, the English US, meaning I prefer English, I want to get the things in English language. Let's understand this request now, and see what this means. Or also it is making HTTP, it is using the get method of HTTP to like kind of get the information or get the content of this specific page using this HTTP method, which is present on this specific website. And the browser the client is using is Mozilla 5.0, and the operating system the client is using is Windows, and their architecture is 64, right? And they accept text, HTML, and any these format, right, of data of files. And they want to get the content in English language, and they also want to keep the connection alive, like they don't want to close the connection, right? So this is what overall it means. Now before going into the HTTP response that the server will give us to the client, let's review this HTTP request as well. So let's say we use the get to get the login page using the HTTP version 101 and connecting to the example.com. User agent is this browser, and we are using Windows again, x64 architecture, and we are able to accept these file types, and the language we prefer is English, right? And we also have the cookie session ID. Don't worry, we will talk about this. We have just skipped this over here in this one, but don't worry about this. And same, we want to don't want to close the connection. Right now, let's talk about the HTTP response, or like when we make a request to the server, uh, uh, what we get, what the server sends us. When the website receives your request, it sends back an HTTP response. So the HTTP response look like this is the simplest example. First of all, we have the HTTP version that we have used in the HTTP request, and then we have the 200. Okay, this is the status code that we'll talk about right in a moment. So this mean, yep, everything went like very well. There is no any kind of error. The request we made to the web server is processed normally, and the server processes normal. The server responds us normally, and give us what we asked for. So this is what this status code simply means. Then we have the date. Let's see, this is the, I told you, status code. We'll explain later. We have the date or here when the response was sent to the client, right? And this is the server, which server the software is using, the web server is using. So this is that. And then the content type is text slash HTML. The user can accept that, the client can accept that. And then we have the content length. So this will be, the response is 1234. This is the example bytes long. So this is the size of the content of the file that the server is giving us, right? And then we have right here the set cookie session ID abc123, this guy right here, to this specific path. It can be it can either as I said, we'll talk about the cookie. But so simply what this session cookie mean is, for example, you want to access something on a specific website, like for example your profile, you want to edit your username or change the profile picture. What you're gonna do is, when you go to the website, and if you are you will not be able to directly be able to modify your profile. What they will ask you is to log into their website. So once you log into their website, you will get the cookie, a special session ID, a special, like kind of a special thing that will be attached to your HTTP response every single time, so that whatever you do on that website, it will use that cookie, and it will validate that cookie a specific like key on the server. If it is true, if it is correct, if the server validates that, you will be able to keep logged into that website and can do as far as you are, what you are allowed to do, right? And one more thing is that I wanted to give you a quick overview about the HTTP request. Don't worry, I'm just going to come to this again. So right here, you see right here, this one was for video one. I have made the part one. I have talked about how web pages are made. So if I click on toggle HTML, it will just do this structure, like provide a basic structure of the website. And if I toggle the CSS, it will do the styling, right? So this is the styling. And if I do this, no, let me redo this so you will understand it. So first of all, we have this. This is provided by the HTML. This is simple thing, right? So this is the HTML, and we have got this because of this HTML. Now the second language, CSS, is used for styling. So if I enable this, we will get a stylish kind of text and in the button as well. Now if I click over here on this, it is not doing anything. But if I enable this right here, you see right here, we are getting some kind of response back, some kind of action is happening when I click on this button. So this is not relevant to this part, but I wanted to just cover that. Took just like 1 minute. Now the HTTP request, or this HTTP request is like, we have different method. Don't worry, we will talk about this in a moment. Let's use the get method right now, just for the example. So this will be the endpoint. I want to get the home page, right? So this will be that I want to get the information or get the content of this home page of our website. So if I click on this, see right here, this is the website, and on this website I want you to get the content of this home page, right? So the user agent we is a Mozilla browser, and we can accept these kind of stuff. And right here you see the status is okay, meaning everything went well. This is the date, this is the content tab, and the status is success. So this is how the HTTP requests look like under the hood. Now let's move back to the HTTP response. So we talk about the set cookies, and this is the response we got from the server. And the set cookie, this is the specific cookie I talk about, and this is the this path thing right here sets which website you can use this cookie on, which specific page of the website you are able to use this cookie. So this will be specified over here, and this HTTP only is like for security purpose. We will talk about this, don't worry. So, and this is the actual content that the server send us. This is the actual content of this specific page. Let's see the request we made. So the index.html file we requested for, this is the actual content of that. So yep, this will be the example website. This text will be shown over here, and the head part is usually hidden from the user. And then we have the body. On the screen we will see the welcome to example.com, right? So this is what the HTTP response look like. Now let's move a bit and see. Yep, we have the HTTP methods, but before that let's understand the HTTP request from here on this example as well. So HTTP request, what the server sends back to us. After receiving your request, the server sends back an HTTP response. So this is using the HTTP version 101. The status code is okay, content type is this, and this is used for like rendering different kind of text format like emojis and numbers and other format. And this is the content length. This is the cookie that we talk about, like a special kind of key. This is for this whole thing is one. And cache control, we don't know, we are not talking about this, right? And from here this will be the actual content of this specific file that we requested. So this is the same thing that we talk about over here. Right now, let's talk about the HTTP methods, types of request. When you send a request, you specify what you want to do using the HTTP method. So first of all, we will talk about the a very important one. There are a lot, but first of all, we will use talk about the get, which means retrieve the data. To get the data, getting a web page, image, or document. Like for example, this is the get request get HTTP get method to get the content of this specific page. No body in the request. Data goes in the URL and can be bookmark cache by. So what this means is when we do this, and nothing there is no anybody in this HTML in this get method, right? Because we are just not specifying anything. We want to just get the data or the content of a specific page. Like for example, this will use the get method of the HTTP, and we are trying to search on Google for web plus security, means web security. So whatever you do in get, like kind of when you are requesting something or getting something, it will be shown in the URL, right? Like the search term web security is visible in the URL. Now we have the post method, which is used for submitting a form like login, registration, payments, right? So the post, and then we want to post something on this specific login page using this version. This will be the website, and this will be the content, and this will be the length. And on the login page there will be a username field, place, and the password. So whenever we enter that, it will be in the body part, right? So this body part will not be shown in the URL. This will be hidden from the URL. So if it is hidden, the nobody will be able to see the credential in the URL, right? As I said, the credential will be in the body part and not visible in the URL, but The problem is that there is not a problem if you use the HTTPS protocol, which is secure, which is encrypted. But if you use the HTTP, the credential, whatever you type, even in the post method, it will be in the body, and the body part is, since it is not encrypted using, when you use the HTTP, it can, you can easily see that using tools like Burp, right? Don't worry if you have not heard about anything about the Burp. We'll talk about later in another module. Right now, this is module one, so don't worry about that. I just wanted to give you just overview. Right now, let's move to another method, which is the port method. So this guy right here is used for updating an existing resource. So this is basically used for, let me give you a relatable example. You have a social media account and you have already a username there on that account, and you want to change either a profile picture or a username, right? So what you will do is you'll have the username you want to change to, or the profile picture you want to change to, and then you will just click on the submit or save. So what kind of HTTP method that is using is put method, right? So it helps us in updating already existing resources. Then we have the delete method, which removes things, like for example, you upload a picture or a video on social media, and then you decide later that you want to delete or you want to remove that image or video. So you will just click on that pause and click on the delete, and what that gonna use in the backend is it will use the HTTP delete method to delete that post, right? And then we have the head method, which is used for checking if the resource exists or not. It is very similar to the get one, but in get one we try to get the information, we try to get the file, we try to get the content, right? But in head, what we do is we just kind of confirm if the resource exists or not, that we want to either download or either get the content, right? So it is just used for validating. Gets back headers, not the actual file. Okay, and now let's talk about the HTTP status codes. So far what we talk about is that HTTP, how the browser and the web server communicate using the HTML language. We then talk about what we talk about. Yep, the HTTP request, how the client request. Client is basically the user using a web browser. Client is more like user side. So how the client send request, HTTP request to the server, and how the server respond to the client, right? So hope you understood that. Then we talk about the different HTTP method like get, put, head, and then delete, and there, yep. Now let's talk about the HTTP status codes. So remember we talk about the, let me show you this right here, this HTTP 101 200. Okay, so this is one of the status code, which means everything went well, everything went correct. So let's talk about this, because there is not only the 200. Okay, there are other one as well. So the server responds with a 3-digit code telling you what happened. First of all, we have the codes ranges from 200 to 299. The 200, okay, means everything is fine. Here is your data. It means everything went well. The page loaded successfully. The request you made is processed successfully. And then the another status code is 201, which means created. Like for example, you went to a social media website for the first time and you want to create an account. So what you will do, you will just kind of get put all of the information, and after that you will just click on the create account. So what this gonna do is it will give you the status code. The server, if the account created successfully, the server will give you the 200 and 201 status code. It means the resource was successfully created. Then we have the 204, which means no content. The request is successful, but there is no content to send it back to the client, right? So this is the famous one, I mean not famous one, but most useful ones, right? From the 200 and 299. And then we have the another range which start from 300 and 399. this means all about redirection. So for example, when you go to a website and you want to get the content, you want to just move to or wants to get on a specific page of that website. Once you click on that and you see the some kind of 301 error, it means the page you wants to access is that it is moved to another address. So this will be the old page address, and if you see this status code, it means you are just automatically moved to another address or where the page is being moved. Now this one is about permanently moving to another page. This one right here is used for temporary, like for example, if the original page has some kind of error or they want to update the styling of the page or adding some new feature on that page, they will just temporarily direct the user to another page, like a simple one or already existing one, and they will work on that page, the original page. Once they are done with that, they will then just kind of remove these redirection, which is temporary, right? Then we have the three or four status code. I have not seen these one, this one as well. Sometime I have seen this one and this one, but not this one. Now let's talk about this guy right here, the range from here to here, 400 to 499. These status codes mean you did something wrong, like client side errors. So let's say we want to make a post, post request to this specific login page, and we forget, we entered the username but we forget the password field. Now it will what when we click on the login, we will get 400 bad requests. What this means is we forget something, you did not send all the required data. Another we have is the 401, which means unauthorized, you need to log in. Like for example, you want to get access to the admin dashboard of the website and you are not logged in, you want to access, you are accessing it as a regular user, as a normal user, as a guest user. So it will give you 401 status code. It means you need to log in order to just access this admin portal, right? Then we have the 403, which means you are logged in but you don't have, you want to do some, perform some certain action on the website, but you are not allowed to do even if you are logged in. So you will get the 403 forbidden http status code. You are not allowed to see this, or you are not allowed to modify this or something like that. And when you see the 404, you might have seen this way more, like a lot of time on when you do searching on Google. So it means whenever you get this, it means the page you are accessing is not available, does not exist, right? The page you are looking for does not exist. Then we have the another range which start from 500 to 599. This one was related to the client side errors. This is related to the server side error, meaning the server did something wrong. So if you see 500, it means the server is crashed or had some internal error. If you see the 502, it means the server is right now is down or is not reachable right now, right? And we have the 503 then, which means servers is unavailable, the server is temporarily down for maintenance purpose or some other purpose, right? So hope you understood this http status codes. Now let's talk about the http version that we talk about, we will discuss later in the video. And after that, in the next video we will talk about the cookies, all about cookies, how we get the cookies, what are they and where they are stored, and if there is a cookie stealing cookie attack as well, right? So everything about the cookie we will discuss in the, this is part 3, and in part 4 we will talk about the cookies, right? But let's discuss this first, and we will then end this video right there. So http version, first of all we have the http 101, the old standard, works everywhere, simple and straightforward. It is simple and it is slower, like multiple requests take multiple connection, higher bandwidth. This is like very old version, takes time to get the resources from a server. So like for example, do the it sends one request one to get the content of index.html. The server responds with HTML file, and the client again make another request using the HTTP 101, this right here, to get the styles.css, so that the style gets applied to the HTML file. The server respond with the CSS file, and then the in the third request the client asks for the script.js to kind of also get the javascript file, so that the file gets interactive and gets the style, right? So each request takes time. Now the http slash 2, which is the modern standard, what this does is this is much faster multiplexing multiple, which means multiple it send multiple requests at once. Like instead of this, it's like asking one by one, it asks from the web server to send everything, like it is making multiple request at once. It is not waiting for one request to get completed, right? Like all requests at once, get this guy, get this, and get this. Server respond with all at once. It is much more efficient. And then we have the http slash 3. This is the newest, even faster than this one. And it right here says not widely supported yet, but I hope you get some kind of idea a little bit, even a little bit, right? So HTTP 101 version, HTTP 2 version, HTTP 3. 2 is the standard version, 1 is the oldest version, and the 3 is the modern version, the newest, right? So hope you understood all of these. If you have any kind of question, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video where we will talk about the cookies. See you soon.